With the emergence of wireless networking, more and more users are trying to connect their personal devices to your network. Whether these users are your own staff or third parties, the problem is the same. They need connectivity and you need security. Juniper Simply Connected solutions make it easy for users to choose and change their devices as well as securely access their business applications. Let's see how a Juniper-based network manages voice and video calls from non-company owned devices and how our products provide a uniquely resilient environment for the mobile user.
When a user enters your building, their mobile devices immediately locate the wireless LAN and begin the process of accessing the network. First, the device authenticates with the wireless access point using 802.1x. The access point forwards this information to the WLC series wireless LAN controller, which allows seamless integration of scalable, secure, and reliable wireless LANs within the enterprise's wired infrastructure. The WLC sends the request to the MAG gateway for radius authentication. A MAG is deployed along with the Junos Pulse client for mobile devices, laptops, and desktops, delivering a single point of convergence for the enterprise's SSL, VPN, and network access control needs. Once authentication is confirmed, the information is sent to the LDAP server for registration and validation, then returned to the WLC. The WLC notes the new policy and sends access approval back to the access point. The MAG sets the user's policies and sends the assigned IP addresses to the mobile devices. The user is now authorized to use the network. EX series switches and SRX series services gateways include policies that define what users can and cannot do, acting as enforcement points to prevent unauthorized access. App Firewall on the SRX device applies additional policies that restrict users from accessing dangerous or non-work-related applications. With Juniper's Simply Connected solutions, you can monitor and control any user accessing your corporate network with any device from any location while maintaining a simple, secure environment. Just as individuals can choose and change their devices to securely access their business applications, Juniper makes it equally simple for your IT department to provision a single set of policies per user that works across multiple devices. Juniper's Simply Connected solutions reduce the support burden when new devices are added to your corporate network.
We'll have a demo of exactly whatever was shown here. We have it right at the back. So the last presentation is very short. It's primarily to talk, it's kind of a closure statement on BYOD, not getting into the details of whatever Deepak has already mentioned. So Deepak has already given you an in-depth on how exactly we get BYOD working. This is more to just give you a closure statement on what is the Junos MAG and the Junos Pulse story, and in terms of what are the supports that support that we offer on this. So starting off, we already know that what is BYOD. It's an infrastructure framework, right? So the framework being the key word here because it is a set of solutions. A BYOD as a solution that you want to deploy covers a lot of different variables in it. We obviously take care of the connectivity part into a BYOD solution. We take care of wireless LAN. We can give you solutions around securing your mobile devices, solutions around enforcing policies on your mobile devices. Different customers have different views on how BYOD. Some customers also say that you bring in on your own device, but your backend applications would still run on the corporate network, and that is where a VDI solution comes into place. So when we say a framework, it is not, we don't cover the entire piece of what BYOD obviously does. We cover a very significant portion of it. We take care of the connectivity and the securing part of it. There are still a lot of backend applications that you need to think about, right? So it is a combination of various solutions, and that is where Juniper has done all that work. We have had that integration with VDI solutions and all of that done at the backend. So apart from this, what are the primary challenges what BYOD customers feel, and we this is where we come in and try to address it. Security being always the number one criterion for any customer, because it is a new animal that you're bringing in. You are bringing in a device that is not under the corporate policy. You are bringing in a device that was used at home and used at some place where you had absolutely no control on what sort of resources it was accessing. So there will be a lot of such challenges around security, and this is where Juniper plays a very key role in terms of providing you that sort of security, providing you a hosted security model also, which is something that I'll come to. After that, performance. How is it going to affect employee productivity? I mean, what would happen is you bring in BYOD, you fair enough, you then have more and more users working out of homes and all that. How do you actually control that? How do you actually measure the amount of work that a user is actually doing with his own device, right? Then you have the control and management part of it. Fair enough, users come into the network, but do I have visibility into what he is doing? Do I have visibility into what sort of devices are coming into the network? Can I control access based on the type of devices that actually come into the network, right? And then compatibility, very important portion, yes, because different devices come in, different kind of operating systems that can come in, different types of devices. I mean, it can range from a user coming with his own Windows PC to a Mac OS based PC, or it could be a Apple iPad or an Android phone. It could be multiple different solutions. So how do you ensure that you have compatibility, or at least a minimum level of compatibility for the employee to actually get his job running, right? And connectivity. Do I need to actually change the infrastructure to get the connectivity in place? Do I have the basic infrastructure in place for a user to come and connect? For example, a user comes with a tablet and you don't have wireless LAN in your network. There's no way that user can come back connected to the network. He could even connect via 3G, but if he's connecting via 3G, do you have an SSL VPN solution so that you could actually bring him in via VPN? So this is where your connectivity questions come in. So these are some of the other questions that you will need to get addressed, right? And finally, compliance, which finally, end of the day, it all comes down to that. Businesses are made and broken with if you do not follow very strict compliance procedures. There will be audits that will be done, and at that point of time, you should have the reports with you. You should have the information with you that is required for those sort of audits and compliances, right? So what does Juniper have to offer on these platforms? Number one, before that, I just also want to catch up. I think we have already discussed on this. We are already running short of time. It's already 1 o'clock, so I'll kind of rush through this. Proliferation of devices, again, the key reason why BYOD as a technology has grown up, and the operating systems that run on these devices have also become very intelligent. One classic example would be Android as an operating system. Apple Mac OS, we know it's been there for a very long time, but the growth of Android has been phenomenal. And the growth of both Android and Apple has today reached a situation where sales of tablets have actually overtaken that of desktops and laptops. Apple for a brief period was the largest desktop vendor, if you know that. Only the last quarter HP caught up with Apple again. But for a brief period of time, Apple actually became the world's largest desktop vendor. And what desktop do they sell? They sell an iPad, right? So what does it actually mean? It means that proliferation of devices, the number of devices that people carry around, the number of devices that people are bringing into your organizations are exponentially increasing, right? Social networks, we already spoke about that in our first presentation. Social networks are no more a game for or something for kids to chat around. They have become a proper business platform. Customers are using social networks to actually enhance business and do business and connect with their customers. So proliferation of social networks are creating a major impact on that. And content consumption, this is also very interesting, and a lot of vendors are actually moving in this direction. The way content is flowing on the internet today, the biggest growth or the driver for bandwidth is, could you, I mean, just wanted to understand, could you tell me what is the biggest chunk of, type of data that is there on the internet, which is actually growing the bandwidth? Why do you think Airtel just launched a 45 Mbps LTE connection? Why is every service provider going for faster and faster bandwidth? What is that one technology that is driving the bandwidth up? Video, exactly, right? Everything is moving into video. YouTube and Facebook and everybody, if you look at Facebook, the maximum number of posts that you will see is actually video now. It's no more English, right? Everybody is moving into video. Video is becoming the new medium of communication for everyone, and that is suddenly increased or doubled. It's not even doubled. It probably has, it's probably increased the amount of bandwidth that you require by a factor of 10 to 15. Today, the way video is growing, your TV that you watch at home would be coming via your internet. Airtel is already talking about broadband TV on their LG, on their LTE connections and all that. So another 1.5 to 2 years down the line, you will not have any of those cable TVs and all that. They will all be providing it over. It would be a value-added service over the internet, right? Over your internet pipe, and that is again another reason why there's such a big growth on these kind of devices. More users, more notebooks, smartphones, and all of that. Quick survey: 26% people own a smartphone. Just what is important is 42% mix business and personal use on their mobile phones, which also means that they do a lot of business on that. 48% users access personal financial information from their mobile phone. Very important. That's where the security piece comes into picture. 82% regard mobile security as a high or top priority. This is some quick facts that that drive home the need for actually having the solutions that we actually have to offer going forward. Just rush through this. So again, just summarizing on that, what are the challenges? Multiple devices, multiple device owners, personal devices used for work, which becomes a challenge for the customer and for the user at the same time. Users download ill-secured apps, right? This is another challenge. If you've been using an Android smartphone, you know that if you want to download a software from the market, we can be assured that it is a safe software. But if you want to download a software from the open market or from any open website, it is just a matter of a tick. You remove that tick and then you can download any software and install it, which means that you can always install or it could be malicious content that comes into your device. And how do you control that? Because when a user brings that kind of a device into your network, that is where you need to ensure that those devices don't get access, right? The whole idea of pointing all of these is to give you those different threats that we need to be addressing when a device comes in. Again, so malware threat, mobile malware on Android is one of the largest. There has been a 400% increase in mobile malware on the Android platform over the last 6 to 7 months. Apple was supposed to be a very safe operating system. Apple Mac OS was regarded as a very clean and safe operating system, and there has been a major virus attack on that as well in the last couple of months. So basically, it just says that the growth of malware is so huge that there has to be some very strict controls in place. Right. Skip this. So where does Juniper come in? Juniper, we run something called as the Juniper Networks Global Threat Center. Global Threat Center is a combination of our own research that goes into malware's signature creation and all of that. And we also work with third-party vendors, right? It also includes vendors like SANS.org. We also work with Kaspersky. We work with Sophos, and there are a lot of premium vendors out there with whom we work. And the Global Threat Center is where all of these different signatures and databases are generated, and that's then proliferated to all of the devices. We incidentally came out with a report which talks about this 400% jump in viruses. So what is it that Juniper has to offer? Key to our solution is the Junos Pulse solution. What it can do is it provides, number one, connectivity. It takes care of your layer 2, layer 3 VPN connectivity part of it. It takes care of protection. It can handle full device management, which means that it can handle theft of the device, it can handle mobile security of the device, it can also handle threat prevention, location, GPS based location of the device, and finally control of the device, which is where the device management functionality comes. How do you remotely control those devices, right? So these are the three functions that Junos Pulse offers you. From a protection perspective, Junos Pulse, from a connectivity perspective, it provides full L3 VPN for Android, BlackBerry, Nokia, Windows Mobile. Android layer 3 VPN connectivity works only from version 4.0. That is a limitation of Android. Android did not support layer 3 VPN till 4.0. So post 4.0, Android also, which is ice cream sandwich version of Android, it supports full L3 VPN. Apple and all of them already supported that from day one. From a device support perspective, we already support the iPhone, iPad, the Google Android, Windows Mobile, Nokia Symbian, as well as BlackBerry. This is the widest range of support that is available today in the industry. All of these devices, all of these, Junos Pulse is available from all of these different vendors. You can go to Android Market and download that, or from the Apple iStore, or which is the respective markets that are available for each of these. And what it can also do is, from a connectivity perspective, provide you a full layer 3 tunnel, which is a full layer 3 tunnel providing you access from your device to your corporate network. It can also provide secure email, where it can do an active sync between your devices as well as from the device to your Microsoft Exchange server. It can also provide a web VPN. So if you do not want to do a layer 3 access where you give complete access from your smartphone to the corporate network, you could restrict access to a set of web links, and that is where the web VPN part comes in, just like a regular SSL VPN connection. So both of these options are available, and all of these are supported today on all of the operating systems. Android was the only one that did not support full layer 3. Now with version 4, Android also supports full L3. We also provide anti-malware, antivirus support. Now this, we need to note, is a service offering from Juniper, where you have to buy a license from Juniper, and then Juniper will provide a cloud-based security solution for the Junos Pulse client. The basic layer 3 VPN as well as SSL VPN connectivity is part of the default package. But however, on top of that, we can provide now antivirus, mobile endpoint firewall, anti-spam, loss and theft prevention, and monitor and control. These are functions that are a service-based offering from Juniper. Once you take that, the device automatically gets its antivirus updates from Juniper. So it's a consistent antivirus update and patch across multiple platforms. So be it a Android or a Windows or Symbian or whichever operating system that they use, they get exactly the same antivirus support across all of them, and firewall and anti-spam functionalities also. All of this managed from a central console, what you call as the Junos Mobile Pulse Security Gateway. This is a console that you get access to once you get this service, and from where you do your control in terms of the mobile device management and all of that. Again, finish about global threat management. I think that's about it. Just finish it with the BYOD framework. What are the different devices that are actually part of the BYOD framework? You do have the devices that connect to it, but apart from that, there are a lot of backend devices that are required to actually get the policies in place. We already spoke about that. Deepak already spoke about how the UAC integrates with the MAG and the Pulse devices. So the MAG SSL VPN forms a very integral part of the device of BYOD, because that is what takes care of your user authentication as well as your SSL VPN connection. And then the UAC that pushes all the policies down to the different devices to take care of how the access control happens across the network. Open standards, it's a TNC certified solution. We already spoke about this a couple of times. Just another some of the other. I just kind of skip this, and this is where the regulatory compliance portion comes in. Juniper, along with the STRM solution, can now provide you complete compliance reporting that you will require for a host of different compliance, including PCI as well as HIPAA compliances and all of that. Most important again, the one Junos story from Juniper, which clearly brings out the value of what Juniper can offer across internet, one single operating system. And Junos has been our primary, the first product or our primary product rather than any of the other hardware that we sell. It is all about what Junos can deliver, across all of these platforms. So I think we are done with it. I'll hand it over to Rajesh.
Thank you, Kiran.